This is my true life story. I became a widow 2017, July to be precise. I'm from Nigeria. I was made to go through certain processes in the name of mourning rites for my late husband of 26 years. Ordinarily, like what they told me, I was supposed to mourn for 1 month. But somehow they increased it to 4 months, which I did. I was made to sleep on a bare floor. I don't go to the market. I was told not to eat with my previous dishes. I was fed like a dog. I received the most inhuman treatment of my life during my mourning period of my late husband.
Mama, I think this purse is going to match your outfit better. Isn't it pretty? It's so nice. It goes with your outfit, even your scarf. It's very fine. It's lovely.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's going to work.
Thank you.
Perfectly well.
Thank you.
Ah, Mama, you're looking so beautiful. Ever young. I wish I could take care of my mom exactly the way your children are taking care of you. No one will believe you are 70.
You will take care of your mother.
Amen.
Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Just keep working hard and be honest in all your ways. In life, never you be deceived by this painted face, because on this painted face is concealed bruises that has healed over time.
I didn't kill my husband. I couldn't have. A man I'm in love with. I was in love with him. And not even after what I passed through during the death of my first husband. And these people labeled me a husband killer. In fact, my brother-in-law took all my husband's properties. His bank accounts, he seized all of them, and threw me and my 3 children out of our house. I watched my husband build with his wealth. He said for me and my children to step into that compound again, that I must perform a ritual to prove my innocence.
They brought me out at about 2 a.m. to cry around the grave. They built a hut directly beside my husband's grave, where I stayed till the next morning at about 4 p.m. Nigerian time. That was when they brought me out. They shaved me. They made me to bathe outside there. The whole clothes, everything I ever touched since I lost my husband was burnt. I was made to shave my private parts, my pubic hair, my armpits, cut my nails, tie them on a nylon. So the very day they brought me out at about 2 a.m., they asked me to cry around the grave, and they built a hut where I slept until the next day, 4 p.m. That was when the daughters of the land gathered. They set a firewood which was burning, and I was sitting directly opposite the firewood. I was never allowed to go out of that place. And the next day, I was taken to the paramount leader. They called a meeting at about 7:30 a.m. I was made to buy like 12 pieces of fish and palm oil and salt with calabash. That's what I went for. So when I got there, they gave me a small stool to sit beside. After deliberation, they called me and they asked me, now that I've finished shaving my head, in my husband's family, who do I want to continue from where my husband stopped? And I said, I don't understand. So they gave me the option of my husband's immediate younger brother, the oldest man in the community, anybody from my husband's family that bears the same name with my husband. And I said no. Widowhood is a journey nobody planned for. Nobody regards you, nobody comes close to you, nobody sits by you. You are left all alone. I can't imagine myself, the husband of 26 years, losing him and at the same time being emotionally traumatized, where they made you go through things. You are treated like a less woman. Nobody cares. And the government is not doing anything about it. Nobody cares. They keep on acting under the pretense of culture. I know no man, no woman prays to be a widow or a widower. But in a journey of marriage, every married man or woman is a potential widow. And you find out that most of all these are being perpetrated by women, by the ladies, the daughters of where you are married. It's annoying. And they keep telling you it is the culture. You have to observe it as long as you are legally married to your late husband.
My widowhood story is different. My mother was apprehensive about me allowing my in-laws to help me to gather up my husband's possession after his passing. I couldn't understand her, just like she couldn't understand me. You see, 9 out of every 10 widows is faced with an open or closed war with their in-laws. But I am the one that stood out, although not without issues. My brother-in-law was an angel, but his wife turned out to be a Lucifer overnight because she felt I had something to do with the husband. She felt I was in love with the husband. But that wasn't the case. He was just being nice to me and she misunderstood it. Up to the point where her things were thrown out of the house. That wasn't my intention, but she got it all wrong. Right now, I found love again and we are in the process of getting married. But my would-be mother-in-law wouldn't want to hear about it. She says over her dead body would her son marry a widow. Widowhood in this part of the world is being stigmatized. We are treated like lepers. We desire to be loved and cared for. We are also humans. We desire affection and love. I don't think it's too much to ask for.
I was married to a filthy rich guy. He was super rich. The many trips abroad, the jewelries, the shopping, the expensive designer shops. I was enduring because nobody wanted to believe me. The elders in my clan, even my pastors, never believed me because they were so blinded with the cash and cars he doled out to them. And also I was scared of what people will say. I had to endure. Probably because of the many trips abroad, the shopping, the cars, the jewelries. But I was just enduring all the pains. When I thought the horror was over, I never knew I was starting another terrible journey. The journey of widowhood. I was abused. I received inhuman treatment. Even his mom asked me if I was happy. The son was dead. She told me that I was relieved because his son passed on. Am I really relieved?
Every day by the second, a woman is being widowed. According to African Poverty Report, 1 in every 10 women in Africa between the ages of 15 and older is a widow. Unfortunately, not much is being done in practice to expose the horrendous experiences these women has to go through. Is this the cultural manipulation, the human factor, the emotional trauma, the social exclusion, the spiritual blackmail, or the financial struggle? It's saddening to hear widows of this 21st century tell the same stories of widowhood experience that I had 25 years ago, all because of our culture of secrecy and silence. But now we are telling the story, but in a drama series. We have currently interviewed over 20 widows across Nigeria. We have a lot of filming to do, not just in Nigeria, but in other African countries, such as South Africa, Kenya, Ghana, and Sierra Leone. We are at the critical point where we are soliciting for support and fund. The current budget for this program is at the cost of $52,800, and we are soliciting for $49,800. You may think the budget is expensive, but if you consider the benefit, not just to widows, but to gender equality and sustainable development, you may understand the value of this program. We call on you to be a part of this journey.